Sometimes you need to alter the look of a video clip. Sometimes this is done to achieve a unique style or look for your video, and sometimes an effect is needed to control a problem that occurred during the shoot. Park your playhead over the Union firing line clip, then skim back to the Confederate firing line 2 clip a few shots earlier. When you compare these two shots, you'll notice that the opposing armies are firing in the same direction. To give the impression that both groups are facing off on opposite ends of the battlefield, we'll need to flip the screen direction of the Union firing line clip. Make sure the clip is selected, then in the toolbar click the Effects button. Like transitions, effects can be viewed by category. Select the Stylize category. To see how an effect will look before applying it to your video, just move your mouse pointer over the thumbnail and skim back and forth. The affected video will appear in the viewer. Some of my personal favorites in this category are aged paper, film grain, and vignette. Take a few moments to skim over the thumbnails to see the interesting looks they create. When you're finished browsing, click the Distortion category, then skim over the flipped thumbnail. This simple effect changes the screen direction of the video. To apply the effect to the selected clip in the timeline, double-click on the thumbnail. Play the clip back to see it with the effect applied.
For them, it's a way.
If you're getting playback stutter, you may want to render the clip by pressing Ctrl-R. You can also apply more than one effect to a clip. Select the Looks category, then double-click the Combat effect. This effect simulates a look of old war films, like the kind I used to watch with my dad growing up. To change the properties of an applied effect, you have two options. Make sure the clip is selected, then press Command 4 to reveal the inspector. Make sure the Video button is selected. You'll see the two effects we just applied listed at the top. Depending on the effect, the controls for adjusting their appearance will vary. For example, you can change the screen direction for the flipped effect using this pop-up. And you can change the look of the combat effect using these 4 sliders. Let's reduce the amount of the combat effect to 85%. You can also click on the number and enter a precise value. To see your video without the combat effect applied, click the blue LED light to the left of the effect name. The other way to work with your effects is directly on the clip itself. Click the badge to the left of the clip name and choose Show Video Animation or press Ctrl-V. The Video Animation Editor appears above the clip. Except for the blue color, this Video Animation Editor is identical to the Audio Animation Editor we looked at in Lesson 9. At the top of the animation panel, you'll see our 2 applied effects. If you look closely at the blue bar for the combat amount, you'll also see a thin dotted line in the lower third of the bar. This line indicates a property that can be changed over time. Double-click the bar to expand it. Moving your mouse pointer over the line will reveal a tooltip that reports the amount of the combat effect currently applied to the clip. The value reports 85 because that's the value we entered in the inspector. You'll also see a resize arrow that lets you change the amount by dragging up or down on the line. Higher values, of course, produce more of the effect, and lower values produce less of it. Drag until the tooltip reads 100. If you wanted to have this effect gradually applied to the clip, or gradually removed from the clip, drag on the fade handles in the upper corners of the clip. These fade handles work identically to the fade handles for an audio clip. Play back the clip to see the effect fade in.
People. For them, it's a way.
Personally, I prefer the effect with no fades, so I'm going to remove them. As you learned in the lesson on working with sound, you can also copy and paste effects. To select a clip with the animation editor open, make sure to click on the top of the editor so that a yellow rectangle appears around the clip. The rectangle is your visual identifier that the entire clip is selected. Now press Command-C to copy the effects from the Union firing line clip. Select the next clip, the cannon loading clip, then go to the Edit menu and choose Paste Effects. Wait a minute, the Paste Effects command is unavailable. That's weird. Or is it? Well, what I'm about to show you is something that you'll want to remember. You cannot copy or paste effects to clips unless they're part of a storyline. These clips are connected to the primary storyline. You also cannot create transitions from one connected clip to another. Again, the clips must be part of the storyline. Select the Union firing line and cannon loading clip, then press Command G to create a connected storyline containing these two clips. Now select the first clip with the effects applied, then choose Copy from the Edit menu. Select the second clip, then choose Paste Effects. The flipped and combat effects are now applied to the cannon loading clip. Because these clips are contained within a secondary storyline, you can also apply a transition if you want to. Select the edit point and press Command T to apply a cross dissolve. Play the connected storyline back to see the result.
Of people. For them, it's a way to learn what living history is like.
When you're finished, remove the dissolve and close the animation editor by clicking the X. I'm going to end this lesson with what I consider is one of the coolest features on Final Cut Pro X as it relates to keyframing your effects. Press the N key to move to the end of the timeline. Play back the project from the start of the Motley Crue clip to get a feel for the content.
I try to tell true, authentic stories.
After watching, the producer, that's me, thinks it would be cool to have the last hold frame transition from color to an old world portrait effect, very similar to what George Roy Hill does in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Start by selecting the Motley Crue clip. Select All from the category pane, then in the search field type out Old. Double-click the effect to apply it to the clip. Press Command R to call up the Retime editor. Move your playhead to the start of the second hold frame. Press M to set a marker at this frame, then press Ctrl V to reveal the animation panel. Double-click to expand the Old World effect bar. Drag the effect amount bar downward until the tooltip reads 0. With your mouse pointer in the upper region of the effect bar and aligned with the marker, drag to the right to create a selection range. Now place your mouse pointer inside the selection range and drag upward on the amount bar until the value reads 50. Move your playhead before the first keyframe, then play the clip back. Is that cool or what? To slow the rate of change from color to the Old World effect, drag the second keyframe to the right. Play the clip back to see the change. When you're finished playing, press Ctrl V to close the animation editor. While we're here, let's also replace the bloom transition with a cross dissolve. Select the transition and press Command T. Also, the fade out at the end of the Bob interview is a bit long. Drag until the value reads 5 frames. As a final step, press Shift-Z to zoom out on your project, then choose Render All from the Modify menu. In the next lesson, we'll continue altering our clips using Final Cut Pro's new Transform, Crop, and Distort tools.